Every class has them. Bright extroverts who demand loads of attention. Handled well, they inject energy and enthusiasm.
It's simultaneous equations.
But without careful management, they can dominate the class and wear teachers down. John Bayley's here to help. Bishop Stopford's in Enfield. It's a popular voluntary-aided Church of England school, drawing in students from all over North London.
Remember, these are the definitions: economic, environmental, social, political. I'll put that back.
John's working with two young teachers, Rhys Jones and Pearce, who prefer to teach from the front.
Often people who are good at maths are good at music, so it's a general thing, isn't it? It's a general trend. Quite a lot of people are good at maths and music.
But in their Year 9 top sets, they find the same able pupils constantly seek their attention.
So this area represents the frequency. Let's look at this one. What's the width here?
Ben's teaching algebra.
There is a specific way, a specific method which we've done. Boys, if you can't stop talking, I'll have to move you apart.
Michael and Chica are amongst the brightest in the class, but they're also the most demanding.
No, how many legs in total have they got?
4 Z.
Z.
4 Z, isn't it?
Well, Z represents the number of zebras.
4 Z.
4Z. 4Z legs, isn't it?
How do they make you feel? How do you describe your feelings?
It doesn't make me cross, because I know they're interested in the work. It just is it's kind of frustrating at times when I want to move on with the lesson.
Zoe can also be a handful.
It doesn't work. It was going to work. It was so good, and then it adds up to 30.
I know, but you're just using a kind of random numerical process, aren't you?
I'm not. I'm using a very specific method.
What's the specific one, then?
In general, they energise the class quite a lot. So I don't want to kind of oppress them too much, but at the same time, they do take up probably a greater proportion of my time than others. Sometimes they get into arguments about the maths. It's better than having an argument about EastEnders or something, which happens, you know, with other groups.
It's sort of like a good problem, isn't it?
Yeah,
it still needs solving.
Rhys teaches the same top Year 9 group. Earlier in the year, he split Chica and Michael up, but the extroverts are still dominant.
Hurricanes are tropical storms that begin over something oceans. Delia.
What is the problem?
I just feel sometimes that isn't really given the opportunity to some of the quieter members or the less confident members of the class to really express themselves.
So do you cut the picture up?
You could if it'll make it fit in your book easier.
John hopes that showing Ben and Rhys clips of each other's lessons will deliver fresh insights.
Yes, Zoe.
You have to, I think you divide other two facets.
If you wanted to give me a profile of Zoe as a learner, Ben, what would it be?
One thing I just thought is that, and this is not just for her, it's the case for quite a few pupils, is I'll say something at the front, and then she'll say, I didn't really understand it. I'll say exactly the same thing to her one-to-one, and she understands it fully.
OK, this is a graph that doesn't... All the graphs we've done so far, like the quadratics, need a smooth curve. This one needs to be straight lines between the points. Yeah?
It's almost as though at times she wants her hand held. Does that ring a...
Yeah.
And that was very interesting, that clip, wasn't it? When she calls for your attention, you get there, and she says, oh, it's gone. It's almost as though she just wanted to know that you were there.
How many boys? See if we can solve this. Go on then. Let's get it going.
OK, now, Rhys, tell me about the two boys at the rec.
Right, that's sort of Michael having his say, getting Mr. Pearce over to speak to him. Just by his body language, you can just see the confidence he's got there. He's not asking you or suggesting anything, he's telling you this is what it is. And Chica's just about to come back and say, well, actually, you could do it in a slightly different way. Just classic.
Professor.
Yeah, he's just thinking as hard as he can.
How could he get a better answer?
Yeah, how can I pick a fault in this answer and prove that I'm the best again?
There are some people who can seem sort of irritating. Because you start off the lesson by saying, yeah, it is a well-known fact that, but then...
They say you're wrong.
I think you'll find that's not right.
Yeah.
And if you don't know it's a learning style, you think they need a slap.
Cheeky little...
Yeah, that's right, yeah.
003 to 99 would be like, so it's just like my concept of what it would be.
If I was to ask you to name the positive qualities that those students show, what would they be?
Well, the student, I mean, obviously they're very sort of keen to be involved in the lesson. They understand the work, so it showed they were engaged and switched on. I thought they would actually work quite well, the way they were talking the problem through. I think it sort of benefited their learning, yeah. I've sort of purposely split them up in my class. And, yeah, just thinking whether now possibly might be an opportunity to put them back together at some stage, just so they can sort of push each other, maybe.
Yeah, that's a very interesting set of choices, pairing and not pairing.
This is not, if you want to do some practice, extra practice. What?
So they're always the last ones out of the room, so they kind of hang on, finishing off a bit of work or, you know, having a bit of a discussion about the maths, and I always have to kind of shoo them out of the room.
And those boys, they're tigers, aren't they?
Yeah.
They're clever, they're focused, they're interested, they're confident. If I came from an education on Mars, I would see your children sitting in rows, facing the front, and I might think that if those 3 students weren't in there, the place would be a graveyard. If you think about what we want from the new national curriculum, children making their own learning, setting objectives, doing active group work, far from being a problem, they're your kind of pace setters. Students should probably be doing at least half the talking in the lessons. What are the first steps that you take to doing that?
I don't really do as much group work as I should, I suppose, you know. But I think it's sort of like an extended, longer task of group work I find can lead to some behaviour management problems. So it's probably why I tend to shy away from it a bit.
I think it's just actively trying to slot into the lesson opportunities for them to have some kind of discussion, maybe more than just in pairs, or maybe get one of the pupils to lead a discussion or something like that.
That's the sort of thing that R3 would like a lot, isn't it?
Yeah. I think as well it'll get some of the others' heartbeat going, wouldn't it?
John wants the 2 teachers to see if they can work with the enthusiasm of the students for the benefit of the class as a whole.
I'm going to give you a few minutes to discuss
For the next day's lesson, they've decided to team teach and encourage a radically different learning style.
Here's the problem. OK, so have a read, discuss how you think you might go about it, what the maths is you're going to be using. OK? 2 minutes.
Ben's plan is to divide the class into competing groups. Their challenge is to build the largest container from a single sheet of card, simply by using algebra.
One person has to be the overall project manager for your group. They have to be in charge. However, it's not a dictatorship. You need to take on other people's ideas and then decide which is the best way to go about it. Right, here are your groups. Group A, B, C, D, E. You might not be with your friends, it doesn't matter. OK? 2 minutes to get in your groups, let's go. Group D here and Group E over there. Let's go. Quickly, make a move, boys.
With friends separated, the groups get off to a hesitant start.
Which group is this?
But gradually, things begin to pick up.
It's going to be this divided by 3, so that the walls are going to be the same height as the width.
Won't that be wasting time, because we still have to find out equation to that?
Have you got any idea how to do it?
No.
Don't do that! Just be quiet.
Label the size with like lengths, and that's what we'll do. And then like see if you can make the biggest like volume.
But think about it. Let's look for the area on the table which has the most space in it, like. Because it should be. I think it's going to be in the middle.
I think we cut this out, like a net, and then we make it into like a box, and you have to make it with the biggest volume so I can fit the most rice in it.
Okay, how's it going?
I think it's going all right. They're definitely thinking a lot about the problem, aren't they? They're not just kind of going through it and cutting things out, I don't think.
So we have It's just a bit over. It's like 1 millimetre over. Yeah, 1 millimetre.
Okay, and I'm using your time right now, but how are you feeling about it?
I'm feeling fine, but obviously there's three adults in here helping. If it was me on my own, I think I'd be pulling my hair out, perhaps. But...
Okay.
The 3 extroverts have predictably assumed leadership roles, but some of the quieter pupils are growing in confidence.
So let's use that because that is broken.
That's 2x, right?
Wait, don't cut out yet. 6 times 6, if you make it 6, then it's 23 centimetres.
We should make the taller one as well, just to compare them.
Right, 8 minutes, you're going to have to start building.
We got 3995 and then we got...
Because you're going to have to make it, yeah? Yeah. All right, go on in. I've been quite impressed, actually, with the sort of the discipline. There hasn't been any problems. They're listening to each other, which was something I was worried about. I thought they might just sort of shout over each other. They've listened, and they are focused, yeah.
The algebra is taking a bit of a time to appear, isn't it?
Yeah, just training them into this sort of method of learning, isn't it, again, really?
And general problem solving wouldn't be a bad idea to give them.
Yeah, definitely, yeah.
3 minutes, you need to have a finished cuboid. So the rest of you need to decide which one you're going to go with.
Let her show it, you cut it out. Because she knows what she's doing.
There isn't time for a plenary, just the weigh-in.
Oh gosh, it's funny. It's not going to break.
If it breaks, it might bow a bit. We'll try and get it as accurate as we can.
About what?
700 grams. So Group A is 700 grams.
Group B, is this Group B?
So already it's got a lot more, isn't it?
A lot more, sir.
Might need a second pack of rice for this one. 880.
So new leader.
New winner there.
This has to be at least £2 billion.
Michael, Chica and Zoe didn't win this time.
Yes, we won!
But the lesson has shown how the enthusiasm of the extroverts can be harnessed to energise the rest of the class.
Mathematically, we came first. You got 2 1 3.
No, that's, you didn't get 2 1 3.
How do you know?
Because you can't get 2 1 3.
At the end. Okay, let's make this quick, because I know you've got to go. What was good about it?
Well, as far as I could see, pretty much everyone was really involved in the task, and they seemed to quite enjoy it as well.
Yeah, I thought, the children sort of respect each other rather well. There was no arguing, no sort of shouting out at the wrong time, that sort of thing.
I mean, they moaned when they first saw the groups, but once they were in the groups, they worked quite well together, I thought. So. Yeah.
Okay, here's my challenge to you both. I want you to name 2 new skills that you might have to take on if you're going to do more of this kind of stuff.
Right, time management, and also, I think just practicing with them, working in groups.
Yeah, and I'm going to definitely take the sort of group work idea back to my department, and hopefully we could sort of all use it.
And I guess the next thing we're going to find out is what they think of this as a method of work, because I can see they could become much more skillful problem solvers in a fairly short period of time.